Alright guys, it is like 1:30 in the morning. I can't sleep. So I thought I would just do a video for you guys. Today we're going to talk about, it's so funny that it's actually today, but today we're going to talk about what I think is the future of Black Panther. And if at times this, if it gets blurry, like I literally just, usually I'll just autofocus, or not autofocus, but I would manually focus, but I have it on autofocus. I very rarely use autofocus, so I decided to give it a shot this time around. That's neither here or there. Let's get into this video, friends. Alright, so first things first. What I think about the future of Black Panther, I just want to go into Killmonger, because he was such a great villain, and he was so well received by both communities, well, I'll say all communities and cultures. And I'm even talking about the people who dislike the character. And when I say that he was well received, I'm saying that enough people disliked him that like it was like how you dislike a heel wrestler, which is a bad guy wrestler, right? Like you hate him so much that you want to see him get beat. It's like that type of heat. So, and then like on people who were more sympathetic about, like, you know, Killmonger did nothing wrong, hashtags and all that other good stuff, he was just too hot of a character, and I don't think that Marvel is going to pass that up. And also because he was brought in back so many times, and just like in the real world, how he has followers and people who believe that, like, you know, and I'm one of those people that Killmonger was right and Killmonger did nothing wrong. In the comic book, he also had followers, and these followers, much like the followers in real life, brought him back to life. I mean, we've yet to see if his fan following will have any sway with Marvel, but I think they have. In the comic book, his followers brought him back to life. So there is that hope that, like, I think in the future, in Black Panther's future, a Killmonger return isn't far-fetched. I mean, if Black Panther does get 3 films, it's usually the 3rd film where something from the past is revisited. This is how, like, trilogies usually work. Something from the past is revisited. It was either something the hero missed that happened in the first movie, something that we and the hero and the audience overlooked, or something that is like totally retconned. And I think Killmonger's death is one of those things that can happen. Another thing is we haven't fully established what the heart-shaped herb can do. Or, I mean, T'Challa survived, and here's the deal. I guess I should do a little character background for most people who don't know about Killmonger. Okay, so Killmonger in the comic books one time ate the heart-shaped herb, and then that one time it killed him, or it didn't kill him, it put him in a coma. But let me explain to you why this put him in a coma. Killmonger already, as a human, is like at the same strength level as Black Panther with the heart-shaped herb. And I'm speaking strictly comic book. Like, in the comic book, Killmonger has pushed his body so far beyond, like, anything, so he could like basically kill T'Challa, that he's literally stronger than Black Panther with the heart-shaped herb. So, be it that he's already, like, he's basically like Captain America, I guess, or Winter Soldier on that level, however you want to say it. But I think in the movie, Winter Soldier did get the human serum or some point, something like that, because this man is like running at the speed of traffic, so he's got to have some superhuman upgrade serum inside of him. But he's like that, and like consuming the heart-shaped herb was like putting his body in like complete overdrive. Like, he was already at the cap, and consuming that heart-shaped herb was like, woo! Like, his body was like, we are already super. Like, we don't need this. So yeah, every time in the comic book he has beaten T'Challa, he's beaten him as just a human, just a human. Like, that's what's freaking amazing about Killmonger. So that being said, T'Challa survived just throw over the waterfall. And I know what you guys are thinking, he was hanging on by the thread of his life, but he still survived. And then, like, you gotta think, like, that fall, he definitely, and I know it's like, I'm digging deep into the story because you know, it's probably heavily applied, but you gotta think, fall that far, it broke his ribs, he probably punctured a lung, bones are broken. I mean, like, some serious damage was done, and they gave him the heart-shaped herb, and it, like, cured him, right? So we don't know the power of the heart-shaped herb yet. We don't know exactly what it can do. And I say all this to say that there's a possibility, much like Norman Osborn when he was buried in the casket, his body could be healing itself. Like, but we don't know that for sure yet. So something like that can happen. Also, in the comic books, there is this guy named Reverend Nikibi, and Reverend Nikibi basically is he's a spy in Wakanda. He works for everybody who's basically trying to figure out everything that's going on in Wakanda. He's a spy for these countries, and you know, he gets out some of their secrets. But I believe one time he was responsible for bringing Killmonger back. And again, I say this to also point out, friends, that Reverend Nikibi, the guy who asked Killmonger who he is, they look quite similar. So it's possible, but that this guy will stage a coup because he staged the coup in the comic book. So who knows? So that could possibly happen. So I guess now let's talk about Shuri. Shuri, I guess, is like, she's another star of this film. Like, she's like taking off. Like, everybody loves her. They've already established, and I forgot who said it, but one of the officials who's in charge of the Marvel Universe has said Shuri is definitely the smartest and capable person in the MCU. Also, what Robert Downey Jr. is saying, he's reimagined Tony Stark as more of a tinkerer than anything else. Also, so he's basically like, I guess what brought, with certain turns of phrases, one person has said Shuri is the most intelligent person in the MCU, and freaking Robert Downey Jr. has basically taken his character Tony Stark down a peg by saying like, he's basically a tinkerer, you know, even though we know him to be like this inventive genius. That being said, I'm looking forward to an interaction between Tony Stark and Shuri moving on with the Black Panther series, because I think with simple wordplay, Shuri, and you cut that in half and it becomes Riri. Sorry guys. It becomes Riri. That leads into Riri Williams. Maybe that's maybe they'll drop the Williams, but maybe Shuri, instead of everybody thinking that she's gonna come into this Black Panther mantle, maybe she'll don Ironheart armor. And I'm not even saying maybe she'll become Ironheart. Maybe they'll, because of that connection, maybe they'll do a couple scenes with Shuri playing around and putting on the Iron Man armor, because it's like this new armor that, like, you know, that's foam fitting, and it's almost to the technology that she produced for T'Challa in his costume, right? And then maybe Tony being Tony calls her Riri for short when she has it on, and that's kind of like a nod to like Riri Williams, and I'm just saying this thing could happen. And on that note, I want to touch on another thing is I don't think Shuri, like, her character's is growing and moving on, and if they do, there's another point I want to talk about Shuri about this, because I think she'll have her hands full with her own growth and storyline. I don't think she ever needs to be Black Panther. I don't think she ever really needs to don the mantle. That's something that they could just toss out the window. It doesn't need to happen. Maybe they could tease it, but it really doesn't need to happen. And so when I say Shuri can have some other character growth, now moving forward with this whole White Wolf thing, and you know, the Black Panther and Bucky and what is he gonna do, I definitely would hate for him to lose the IP or the moniker Winter Soldier, because it's such a dope name. And moving forward, if he does get his own movie, or if he ends up in this Black Widow movie, and it's all this espionage, spy things, I think the name Winter Soldier holds more weight because he's in the spy world. He's such a, I mean, he's such a popular spy and a mercenary that I think that name carries more weight than this whole White Wolf thing. Because nobody in the real world would know what that means. Now, I think with the White Wolf moniker, he could take that. As people have spies in Wakanda from all over, he could be a spy for Wakanda. Like he looks like I mean, if they really want to get into it, he looks like the dominant population. Nobody would ever expect it because previously he had been working for the U.S., right? And so he'd be the perfect spy with the code name White Wolf. That would be dope. But also, speaking about Shuri and how this pertains to Shuri is there is like how they tackled like other issues about the black community within Black Panther. Maybe in Black Panther 2 they could focus where there's this thing where in the black community where like if you want to be about black rights and if you call yourself a black activist but you have a white partner, you're looked at as not being really into the movement or the activism because you're dating or you're married to someone that's part of the colonizers or the oppressors, right? So if they did something with Shuri and Bucky actually, like, because like she's been taking care of Bucky all this time, it's not rare for like a romance to sort of happen. So if they did that where she fell in love with Bucky or there was like some sort of feelings there and then like, I mean, I think it's pretty dope. Shuri's smart as heck. She's obviously capable. She can defend herself like all the women in Wakanda. But to be dating Bucky like your boyfriend is a dangerous mercenary, that's crazy. But also her being a royalty, that puts Bucky in line of like being married into the royal family, maybe being considered an heir to the throne if something ever happened to T'Challa, and Shuri didn't want to be that. You know, there's a lot of like cultural things happening in there, and how people of Wakanda would accept that. That's something that's in our community that's going on now that could be addressed in that movie. So I think with her character moving forward after the events of Civil War, depending on how they want to play that, that's an avenue they could go. So I think that was also in the future cards for Black Panther. Okay, so moving forward, I have no idea what Marvel's doing with the X-Men properties. That's another video, and we'll talk about that. Jeez Louise, I got like a text message in between that, so I'm sorry about that noise. But if the X-Men do come, and there is a possibility to have Storm, man, there's a million different ways they could do this. I mean, Storm is a... Oh my gosh. Sorry, guys. This little lady here was curious and she almost knocked over the camera. But if they become part of the world, she could be a lost daughter of Wakanda. But I don't think she should be a love interest. And let me tell you why. I think the X-Men should just be new, younger characters. They should be used to bring in the younger people. So, unless they decided to make Storm a captain of a team or a leader of the team and making like one of the leaders of the team of X-Men, yeah, I think that would be a little weird for young Storm to come into Wakanda and be married to old Black Panther. I mean, again, unless Storm's already part of like one of the older teachers or something like that, they go that route with it. But I feel like the X-Men should be a younger team, and I feel like now, again, this isn't going to be part of another video, but with them announcing that New Mutants, or not even announcing, but rumored that New Mutants is going to be on the Disney streaming service. So basically, I think Disney's like, yeah, we're just going to take all this out here because we're going to reboot something else. My hope is they reboot the X-Men as a television series a la Game of Thrones, and push it that way. and Storm be a young character. But if they put her in a position as a teacher, she's already an established mutant, she has her powers and all other stuff, and then she goes back, yeah, she could do that. But I also think that since she is a lost daughter of Wakanda, that she should be of some royalty of one of the 4 tribes of Wakanda. And I feel like they dropped the ball on this already, because my one issue with Black Panther is the guy they have playing T'Chaka, or I don't even think it's guys, I don't even know, but T'Challa's father. I really think they should have casted Wesley Snipes, and for many reasons. One, Wesley Snipes is Wesley Snipes and my guy who played Spawn, I can't think of his name right now. Both these 2 people are responsible for the renaissance of comic book movies. Like, I know it's popular to say X-Men 2000 are the first X-Men movie, and I loved it. I loved the X-Men movie. I'm not trying to take anything away from it. I stayed up an entire day to watch this movie. I love that movie so much that I literally, me and my uncle, we watched this movie all day. Like, we went to the first showing. This was like before they had 12 o'clock showings. So we went the first showing of the day and we saw this movie 4 times. X-Men, 4 times. So I'm not trying to take anything away from it. I'm just saying this idea that X-Men was like the first movie to put superheroes in a real world it's wrong to me, and like it kind of puts me in like in a Killmonger mode. And I'm just like, are you really not gonna say, like, you're not gonna mention Blade? And let me put it to you this way. Blade was so good that it didn't need to ride on the whole it's a Marvel comic book. And I get it. Like, you could argue that, well, Marvel really wasn't that popular anymore at the time. But still, like, even to get, like, it was a crapshoot. They didn't know it was going to work. So you would think, like, okay, let's get this comic book reader money. So let's put out it's a Marvel movie. There are people who still think that Blade was just an awesome vampire movie. I have cats, guys. So that's how great of a movie it was. It really didn't matter that it was a comic book movie. People just thought they were seeing some awesome supernatural movie. And I think because of that, and I think because he's also put in work he actually tried Wesley Snipes, that is. And the other guy, Spawn, was Michael J. White. It just came to me. But Wesley Snipes put in so much work. He tried to get a Black Panther movie made. And I think, like, other than Goyer, and Wesley Snipes is pretty militant, man. If you guys don't know that, he's pretty militant. So I don't know why they thought, like, I don't know why Goyer thought he was going to get certain shenanigans, like, be able to do certain shenanigans like the ones he was trying to pull over Wesley Snipes, but that's neither here nor there. What I'm saying is, I think he always did what was right by Marvel. He made these films. He is a jump off point. He is the reason why we have an MCU. Like I was saying about the actor who played T'Challa's father, I know they got like an African actor to be him, but still, I could not believe, because you got up until Civil War, T'Challa's father is actively Black Panther. This guy, and no beef to this guy, whatever, this actor, I cannot believe that this man is still being Black Panther right now. Like, you see, and I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but, like, do you see T'Challa's father, the guy who's playing T'Challa's father? Like, I really don't believe this man is actively fighting crime and doing stuff, you know. I get it, like, he could have the heart-shaped herb is keep making him do that, but still, like, the bomb thing, he wasn't physically fit to do a ninja roll out the way or something like that. But I feel like they miscasted that, and that honestly should have went to Wesley Snipes. I think Wesley Snipes should have played T'Challa's father, and he's physically fit. He just did Expendables. It would be believable, for me at least, that this guy who just died was actively Black Panther for a time. But now that's passed and that opportunity is gone, I think Wesley Snipes should play Storm's father. He should at least be like a leader or something, right? Of one of the 4 tribes. That's what I'm thinking. You let me know what you guys are thinking. And again, for villains, I definitely think all these villains should be retconned and at least do something that is going to move the culture socially. And I really hate using the word the culture, but I'm just saying, like, that's going to, like I said about, like, the whole not being considered a serious Black activist if you're dating a white person. But I feel like if they retcon Craven, and again, this is another, I'm just trying to get Wesley Snipes anywhere in here. I think they should retcon Craven, cast him as a black dude, and let Wesley play him. Like, that's another dope thing. Or, like, if Craven was an African from an outsider tribe that happened to be best friends with T'Challa's father, like, that would be interesting. That would be interesting. And maybe, you know, Craven took on a white wife. Who knows? I don't know. But I think, like, that would be good. You know, that at least that's my opinion. And then, yeah, and as for T'Challa, you guys already know my opinion on that. I think T'Challa should, the events of, and I think what that's going to happen, the events of Infinity Wars are going to show him that maybe he should be more militant. I think his eyes are going to be open to Tony Stark being a dick, you know, what he's been doing, what he's up to. And I really think he's going to have issue with Tony bringing in Spider-Man, him being a kid. I really do think that. So I think he should become more militant and he should have more control. But that's just me as that's my opinion as a person. So I don't know, man. And I think that it seems like, and I think the theme should keep going because it's a wonderful theme to play around with, that the sins of the father fall on the son, and that he's like Craven has something to do with his father. Just like he's having to prove to himself and his people that he's not his father and he's doing things differently and he's worthy to be king. And that's my opinion, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. I got these Nintendo Switches I'm trying to give away. So help me get to, you know, 2,000 subscribers. And let's get this going, alright? Thanks, friends, for stopping by. Stay excellent, and I'll catch you guys later.